a little bit of weight gain. We have the hormonal changes, and this is hormonal changes for the second time because we had hormonal changes in puberty.
Yes, and then in
Okay,
adolescence.
and then exactly. So we need to understand that, and so right then and there, in age 20, we start having increased fat distribution in our hips, okay, in our thighs. So we need to understand it's nothing we're really doing except for living. It starts happening automatically at.
So many choices, so many decisions, and so little time. Do you wrestle to understand the equations of life? Start a business or start a job? Should you get in a relationship or do you end one you're in? Is there more you should be doing with your life? What's your purpose and calling in life? Decisions. Are you at a point in your life where you need answers? There's definitely hope. Join the Unplugged experience, get connected with noted life coach, spiritual teacher, and catalyst for change, Dr. Diane Clark, for her show called Unplugged.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Unplugged. I am Dr. Diane Clark, and I am your host. I am so grateful and delighted that the Lord led you to tune into the program today. This is Women's Month, and we wanted to take time to celebrate women. As such, I want you to know that coming May 21st, 2022, we will sponsor a celebration of women, and we will do it in conjunction with Unplugged Live. The focus for that event is self-care, body, soul, and spirit. We're going to have some wonderful speakers and guests on the show that day. It will be a plated lunch with the VIP experience. Stay tuned because there's more information coming. I'm Dr. Diane Clark, and I want you to know I'm in partnership with you for your success. This month, we are offering an e-course called Becoming Your Authentic Self. This course will help you delve into the treasure that's locked on inside of you. It will activate your creativity and cause you to emerge as the butterfly comes to its final destination after process. You will enjoy this book. You can get it at my website. That's DianeUnplugged.com. DianeUnplugged.com. Download this ebook, Becoming Your Beautiful Authentic Self. It will change your life. Welcome back. This month, I am offering the book, The Influence of Godly Women. It will bless you because it speaks to women in all walks of life. And I want you to get a copy of that. You can go to my website at DianeUnplugged.com and get a copy of that book. It will help you. It will increase your influence in every area of your life. The book was forwarded by Dr. Miles Monroe, who commented and complimented me for writing the book in that fashion. So I believe it really will bless you. Today, we're going to be talking about growing and moving gracefully in life as women with no apologies. We've apologized for years for being a woman because of what Eve did. We have taken the brunt of it. But today, we're going to encourage you. We want to encourage every woman that's looking at the show today that God has a time set for you to be blessed, encouraged, and enlightened. I want to introduce my guest to you today. This is Dr. Leah Riddick, and she's going to tell you about who she is, what she does, and she's going to continue on with today. I'm through apologizing.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. It's always a pleasure to be with you on your show, Unplugged. Yes, my name is Dr. Leah Riddick Cunningham. I'm a motivational speaker and author, motivating your mind, becoming a healthier you. You can find me on www.drleahriddickcunningham.com and other social media platforms. Yes, so this is Women's History Month, and we are applauding, and we are encouraging, and we are highlighting women.
Yes.
And I want to talk specifically from that standpoint, from the theme, Embrace You with No Apologies. And we are talking about embracing you with no apologies because we have done the work on the things that we have had errors on. I want to refer to the fact that we don't need to keep repeating the fact that we apologize or we're sorry for things of our past experiences, our past missteps, our past relationships. If we have apologized, if we've been forgiven, if we've been repented, how many times do we need to continue to apologize?
Yes.
So we're going to embrace ourselves where we are. We're going to embrace ourselves with what we do, and we're going to not continue to apologize again. And from that standpoint, I want us to understand, because we have been maturing gracefully. Okay, we've matured gracefully.
Yes.
From that standpoint of where we had errors and missteps in life. People would try to get us to continue to apologize for their benefit. Okay, we don't need to do that anymore. So I want to really highlight on a couple of things regarding the fact that we are maturing gracefully. I wanted you to hear this. When we talk about maturing, matured means that we have come to an end of a term.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Financiers
It's full.
and it's full. Exactly. You know, the financial industry uses that term in maturation of
Yes.
CDs
Yes.
and IRAs, life policies, insurances. It's come to the end of the term. It has
Right.
matured.
Yes.
Okay. We have come to the end of that season. We have matured.
Yes.
And then when you put the gracefully piece on it, what do we know about grace? God's unmerited favor.
Yes.
I like to say it this way, God's unmeasurable favor.
Ah.
God's unmeasurable favor. We can't even measure the grace He's put on our life for the things that we have done. So why are we still apologizing for that, Dr. Clark?
Okay.
We don't need to. We have matured gracefully in so many ways.
Yes. And you know what happens, Dr. Leah, is we haven't matured in our minds. We're not operating from healthy places in our mind.
Right.
Too many of us sit down and reflect on our past instead of preparing for our next.
Correct.
We're in March, but your mindset now needs to be focused on April.
Right.
What's the next thing,
Right,
God?
right.
What's the next idea? What's the next strategy?
Yes.
And I love that you're saying maturing gracefully.
Yes.
Because not only is it God's unmeasurable
Right,
favor,
right.
it is something you don't even deserve.
Exactly.
So that means He's adding something to you
Absolutely.
that you didn't even know you
Didn't
needed.
even know you needed. You're so right. You're so right. And so we need to really hold on to that. We need to chew on that. We need to, marinate and regurgitate it. I mean, bring it up over and over and over again so that we are reminding ourselves. I want to talk about this in specific to us as women because we focus on certain areas of our lives, not just some of our missteps and misfortunes, but on our physical beings, okay? Because when we talk about maturing gracefully, we have to realize that there's certain areas which we mature in, chronologically, okay, by age, emotionally in our feelings, psychologically by the way we think and our thought processes, and then physically, our looks. Women, we are going to change physically, and it's okay. We work so hard at trying to retain or recapture a certain look that we work ourselves into a tizzy trying to go back in areas of our lives that we're never going to be again. We have matured gracefully, and it's okay. We moved on, and we need to really be conscientious of the fact we moved on. You know, some of us, we want to recall or still look like age 20, age 30, age 40, 50, and those of us that are past 60, we want to go back to 60. We want to go back and look at those looks. We think that we were better than, we did better than, we looked better than, we were more accepting than, or received better, or even ourselves, we were more accepting of ourselves even better. But, we are, I don't want to say confused, I don't want to use that, but we are caught up with the way society gives a perception about how we need to look. So that we are constantly trying to regain something that we matured gracefully from, not appreciating the grace that we now have as to where we are. We're not 20 anymore.
No.
And we're never going to be.
No.
That's the thing.
No.
It's an exercise of futility. You
Yeah.
will never be 20 or 30 or 40 or
Again.
whatever years again.
gone.
It's gone. It's gone, you know. Now, I don't want us to not neglect ourselves. That's not the emphasis. That's not the point. Some of us still have a certain flair.
Yes,
Right? You know, as
yes.
women, we like to look good.
Yes.
We like to smell good. You know,
Yes.
we have a certain style. We want to continue to enhance our looks. We want to continue to be as healthy as we can be. Do those things. But we're not trying to recapture a look that we had. We matured from that look. And the emphasis has to be of such because we work ourselves almost into an illness or a sickness in trying to do that. Because we'll go through extreme measures because we aren't appreciating ourselves as where we are. So we're almost having to apologize, okay, for where we are.
Oh, no.
Embrace you with no apologies. We have matured gracefully, my sisters.
Yeah.
And the emphasis has to be of such. You know, I want to make a point about some of this, that there's some physical things that we just cannot ever change,
Yes.
no matter how much we try to, unless we do augmentation. And what I mean by that, there's some surgical augmentation
Yes.
sometimes women do. Some are necessary, and some is just, I want it.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
I just want it. You know, I can
Yeah, I
feel
want
myself.
I feel
Yeah, oh, I
that
feel.
I would look better
Right.
if I
Yes, exactly.
I get it.
You know?
I get it totally.
And typically, it's either to please someone else, okay? And if it is to please someone else, you will always be constantly working on doing something more because they will never be satisfied. You
Yes.
will always have to please them for the next whim. So if you're going to do anything, make it be of a such that it's a necessity and that it pleases yourself.
Yes.
Otherwise, you actually, in your mindset, are apologizing for where you are when you mature gracefully. And it's a blessing to have been able to mature
Yes.
gracefully.
Yes. You know, Dr. Leah, that is so important because in our time now, in this age, so many young people
Yeah,
are dying.
yeah, yes.
They're not living
Right.
to be 50, 60,
Right.
70. They're not living to experience those parts of their lives because
Right.
they're gone at 20, gone at 22. In the news, they were reporting all these murders
Yes.
by gunshot.
Yes.
And the oldest person was like 28 years old.
Yes. Wow.
Okay, so
Wow.
life just wiped out.
Right, right.
But here God has allowed us to live.
Right.
And he has created us by design.
Exactly.
You're perfectly designed
are.
by God
we are.
to be who and what you are.
Yes.
And Dr. Lee, I want you to talk about after 50.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, and now, so many things have changed. Women are premenopausal in their
Yeah.
30s.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
they're starting to have symptoms. And they're like, these things that happen when we're in menopause, where you gain weight even though you're eating the same way
Right.
you were eating.
That's exactly
you know?
right.
And then I noticed that your feet look different.
Right. Right. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And of course your face
Right,
changes.
right.
You know, you can still have a youthful look. I'm
Right,
youthful. I'm
sure.
pretty. I'm
Right.
youthful. But I'm over 60.
Exactly.
I'm closer to 70 than I am. And God has graced me.
Exactly.
So I don't apologize.
Right. That's exactly right. You're absolutely right. And there's a lack of teaching, Dr. Clark.
Okay.
There's a lack of teaching on what to expect as we reach another age group when we move from 20 to 30 to 40 and 50 and so forth. There's a lack of teaching on what to expect. So we don't know how to respond. So when you don't know what to do, you go back to what you think you know or what you've learned or what your experience has been. So because there's a lack of teaching on what to expect as we mature, we don't know how to respond to it when it happens. So I'm going to go back to what I did know. I knew how to do 20. I knew how to do 30 because I did it. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So then we try to reach back for those things. But it's not comfortable. Actually, what is really happening, that means we're displeased.
Okay.
We're discontented, okay, and we're disappointed in where we are. So I do want to kind of dismember the disbelief we have developed because of the lack of teaching, and get us to understand that physical changes happen at 20. I'm gonna go all the way through some of those time frames you just mentioned, but if we realize this starts happening at age 20,
Right.
maybe we can rest a little bit better, okay?
Yeah.
It's nothing we did, it's the way it's set up. It's called growth and development, okay? It's called physical changes, okay? It's called growing in life, it's called maturing. And even starting at age 20, our metabolism starts changing right then and there. Yeah, we may have ate a little extra French fry, okay, a little couple pieces of chocolate cake or whatever, things that we normally like to indulge in at times. But our metabolism even starts changing at 20. So there's some subtle changes that starts occurring, okay? And then we start having a little bit of weight gain. We have the hormonal changes, and this is hormonal changes for the second time because we had hormonal changes in puberty.
Yes. And then in adolescence.
And then exactly. So we need to understand that. And so right then and there in age 20, we start having increased fat distribution in our hips, okay, in our thighs. So we need to understand it's nothing we're really doing except for living. It starts happening automatically at 20. But then because there's a lack of teaching and what to expect when we start maturing, we don't get it. And so we don't know how to respond, and we're panicking, and we're like, oh my gosh, I need to go on a diet, I need to go on a fast, I need to just drink water. In the meantime, we're really not satisfied at all. And then, in our 30s, when you think about 30, and we know God talks about number being 30 is biblically understood as the number of maturity,
yes.
okay? And so a lot happens at 30s, my sisters, okay? It just does, okay? Right then and there, we start having a decline in our hormones again, our estrogen, okay? Our progesterone levels, okay? That starts leading us towards, premenopausal areas, okay? That whole state, that whole phase that comes in. Our body fat is steadily increasing. It's incrementally. We don't know until the show is up. We eat one piece of cake and we're thinking, what the heck just happened?
I know. I can't button my jeans.
Exactly.
I have to lay on the bed to get in them.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to do that last year.
But it is steadily increasing even as early as age 30. All right? And then it starts developing mostly around our middle area. That has a lot to do with stress and cortisol level. We talked about that one time. Cortisol levels that are building up, okay, surrounds our internal organs. So we're trying to figure out what's happening with the belly fat. That's what we know it to be, right? But it is maturing. You're maturing. And then we start having these irritabilities and frustrations and hot flashes. All of it starts at 30, okay? If you didn't notice when you were 30, that's when it started. And then the collagen, when we start talking about our facial appearances, but we don't really see it fully maybe till we get 50, 60, or so on. But my sisters, it started when we were 30, but no one talks about it. So it surprises us. But all those things are occurring. And when we start being more informed that this is going to happen anyway, and I can do all I can do to help it go well, as far as people say, as I said, you age gracefully, you mature gracefully, and we should be very grateful that we have. So we just enhance what we have then. But to try to fight ourselves financially, emotionally, okay, and physically through augmentation, surgical augmentations, okay, to try to regain and recapture those looks in those youth areas. No. We should be grateful for where we are. And we're not trying to continue to apologize for the things that went on with that age group too. Let's not forget that. Okay, the look may have been all that, in our opinion, but what about the behaviors that went with that? That caused us to apologize for those things. So we want to be very conscientious of that, and think about the things that we can do as where we are that continues to enhance what we have, and being grateful and thankful for how we are and where we are, what we've accomplished. And you even said something earlier about what our next is.
Yeah, the
in
next.
preparation for
Yes,
next.
Yes. And you know, Dr. Leah, the design industry knows and has observed that there are more people now, I don't know if you've noticed it, and especially among women and some men, they have the extended bellies. And some people I can look at and know that it's some of it is sickness,
Yeah.
but then some of it is stress.
Right.
And because the stress makes it tight,
Yeah.
almost like you're pregnant.
Right.
And now, if you notice the design of the clothes,
Right.
you're not seeing the fitted suit unless you have to go to the next price range.
Yeah.
But in basic price range, if you notice, they're making the dresses and the tops to accommodate the large belly.
That's
They've
something.
expanded the
Say.
clothes, and I was like, okay, so this is something that's happening. Not just to women, but culturally,
Yeah.
I'm seeing a shift
Right.
in that. And so the designers know that women's bodies are changing, and we need to know. And if we don't want this belly, we need to go and have a conversation with a counselor or go seek some help that to deal with the stress that's
Right.
causing this.
Exactly.
And then find out, is there something physically going on? Is
Right.
my liver malfunctioning?
Right.
Am I pancreas? Am I diabetic?
Right.
Because all of that alters your look.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. And that's a good point, too, because we don't take the time to really investigate. We just try to cover it up. Like you said, they come up with these clothing
Yeah.
that kind of just mask,
Yeah.
that we're enlarging in areas. And if it's not a medical condition, there are some things that we can do as far as having increased belly fat, reduce the stress,
Yes.
find out what stress level we're at and work at that, or if there is something medically happening, okay, you get some lab work, you do, physical exam, you speak to the right physician, and you take care of that. And do the things that we can do, but with education and information as to what's happening with your body. And if it's the normal maturity things that are going on with us, then we just need to do what we normally do in any situation. We work with it. We adapt and adjust, right?
Right.
The military, I'm a U.S. United States Navy veteran, and we adapt and we adjust.
Yeah.
We don't retreat.
Consistently, you had to do it.
Consistently.
Yes.
Yes. We don't retreat. The military knows nothing about retreating. We adapt and we adjust, okay? And we continue to go forward. And so we need to do the same thing in life. There's no going back. When we talk about our 40s, I think I stopped a little bit right at age 30. When we talk about our 40s,
yeah.
At our 40s, in this 40s series, we start losing 1.5 inches, okay? 1.5 inches in our bone structure and in our muscles, okay? So when people say, wow, you used to be a little taller, yeah. Okay.
Oh, no, I'm
Yeah.
already short. So maybe I'm experiencing the shortness syndrome.
You start losing. It's about like a centimeter, okay, in this series of the 40s that we start actually shrinking. And so we need to understand that is just going to happen. You can't stop those things. We start having a little bit of eye problems. Okay, people say, oh, my eyes starting to bother me. They are more dry or they're itchy or, I can't see things as clear anymore. No, you're okay. You're losing eyesight. Your eye vision is changing. Your vision is changing, And so you just, you go to a physician, optometrist. You find out where you are if you need eyeglasses to see closer or to see distance. If you're on a computer a lot, you need to find the right glasses. They call it blue light glasses to help distort or to help counter out the light that emanates off of the blue screens, on our tablets and such. So we just need to get educated. We just need to be educated. And then the one that's even my own personal favorite, okay, we call them the bat wings, right? The bat wings. Come on, ladies, you know what I'm talking about. I got on a jacket right now, so you can't see mine. But because I have muscle loss. So muscle loss is going to be fat increasing. So, that's the result of it. And, you can pump iron and all that and tone it and do what we can. But we're not going to try to do augmentation or anything of those nature or try to fix these things when we are mature and gracefully. And then our metabolism is dropping now in our 50s between 10 and 15% at a rate of 10 to 15% during our 50s. So we're fatiguing more, we're fatiguing easily, a little less energy unless we work at it, as far as being physically fit, doing some exercise, strengthening exercises and all that. But if we are aware that these things are going to take place, I'm okay. And you can be okay right where you are with who you are right now and not trying to go back to yesteryear looks, right?
And right there, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a moment. Welcome back to Maturing Gracefully. Dr. Leah, I want you to cover age 60 before we leave the air, and 70. I know you have it ongoing, but enlighten us today before the broadcast.
Okay. So 60, let me talk a little just about 60. So 60, our skin starts drying out more. Okay, we become a little more or less dehydrated. If you notice, some don't even drink a lot of water. I was having a conversation with someone, and I was telling them, because even my mom, I share with her, I said, you got to drink more water. And people don't like the taste of water. Well, water has no taste, so that's a little bit of an oxymoron, but I get it, okay? So, but we have to do it anyway because we lose water through sweat, we lose water when we sleep, we lose water when we go to the restroom, right?
Yeah.
So you have to continue to drink water. Your skin becomes drier, it becomes itchier, okay? You start getting flakier because it's so dry. And then you start having what they call that crepe paper or crepe paper, okay, where the skin looks like a small little
like crepe.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
right? And so what's happening, that's what happens. That's what's going to happen. And we can keep toning ourselves, but that's what's going to happen. And then we have increasing wrinkles, lots of places, our neck, our jawline, our faces, around our eyes, back of our hands. We start having what they call spots, liver spots on the back of our hands, age spots, and creases, start having creases and right? I know, right? and we bruise a little easier. We bruise a little easier too, So those things is part of the physical changes of our lives. And then 70s, even more so, things just kind of exacerbate even more so. We're physically more tired. We don't want to get out of bed. It's not just you. We all don't want to get out of bed, okay?
Right.
And we just, our bodies are slowly, I don't want to say shutting down, that's not the right term, but we're slowing down. We're just slowing down. We've been who we are for 70 plus years. So we do what it takes to keep it well maintained and as healthy as possible. But I wanted to let you know these are physical changes that are going to happen, and they start at age 20. So we're all in good company, okay?
Thank you, Dr. Leah, for those encouragements and those insights into how to mature gracefully. I want you to tell the audience how they can receive more information from you and tell them about your book.
Okay, thank you. Yes, if you want to hear more from me, you can visit my website, www.drleahriddickcunningham.com. My background, my undergraduate is in nursing, my graduate is in ministerial studies, and I also have a degree in early childhood education. So I'm an educator. I'm also an author. And I wrote a book, and it deals a lot with our emotions. It's called Bad Memories Sabotage Healthy Emotions, because that is my platform, emotional health and wellness. You can get this at my website, and it has an accompanied a small workbook that helps you walk through the things that have sabotaged us from our past bad experiences that gave us bad memories that now show up to sabotage us in our future. drleahriddickcunningham.com. That's my website. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you so much for consenting to be a part of the show this morning.
My pleasure.
I want to thank you for tuning in with us on today. Remember, if you would like my Facebook page, Dr. Diane Clark Unplugged. If you would see us on YouTube, if you would subscribe to my channel. We're so grateful for the Inspired Network for providing this platform in order for us to give voice. Unplugged deals with having a healthy mind, having healthy emotions, so that you can improve the quality of your life. I exhort you to continue watching the show. And don't forget a very important date, May 21st, 2022. More information to come. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week as we're celebrating Women's History Month. I'm Dr. Diane Clark, and I want you to know I'm in partnership with you for your success. This month, we are offering an e-course called Becoming Your Authentic Self. This course will help you delve into the treasure that's locked on inside of you. It will activate your creativity and cause you to emerge as the butterfly comes to its final destination after process. You will enjoy this book. You can get it at my website. That's DianeUnplugged.com. DianeUnplugged.com. Download this ebook, Becoming Your Beautiful Authentic Self. It will change your life.
Put a seed in the ground and name your seed. Experience the blessings of the Lord by sowing into this outreach. Help us take the gospel around the world. You can do so by going to Cash App. Type in the dollar amount you would like to give, and then type in $D Clark Ministries in the For section. Make sure you include your telephone number and a small prayer request. I can assure you that our prayer counselors will be praying for your needs. If this encounter has been a blessing to you, send us an email at dclarkministries@gmail.com and let us know how we've been a blessing to you. Or write us a letter or drop us a seed at Dr. Diane Clark, P.O. Box 9148, Jacksonville, Florida, 32208. Or call 904-419-9831. Stay connected with Dr. Clark and the Unplugged Ministry. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like our Facebook page and Instagram family. This way, when we go live, you'll get an alert the doctor is live. To find out more about Dr. Clark, go to my website today. And while you're there, become a partner. Go to DianeUnplugged.com. So you've been watching the show. Would you like to be a content provider yourself and develop a show for the Inspire Network? Please give us a call today at 904-389-5592. Or go to www.connecttv.info